For those of you that are new, I'm Josie Brandon. So I just wanted to take a few minutes to encourage you today because I wanted to share with you the business strategy that is taking place right now with the elections so that we are consciously aware of how to hold ourselves in position. Now, before I get started, I just need to say a few things. First of all, I'm not an attorney. I'm not giving any legal advice. I'm exercising my First Amendment right, which is the freedom to express myself. I've been a business strategist for over 20 years. I've also worked with the courts. So I understand specifically the strategies that take place in these different areas. So I'm expressing my opinion, okay? What we just saw today was a chess move. This is my opinion again. It's a chess move that's placed on the board. And what they're trying to do is strategize so that the American people are subliminally manipulated to believe that the decision is final. And if you take a look at the legalities of this, it is not final. That's why the media will use will use words like projected or president-elect, right? That's what you need to focus on. Nothing has been certified yet. This is a legal issue that is being handled right now. But what happens is that oftentimes when someone's trying to take a position into whether it's a business deal or something that very much heavily weighs on the positioning of themselves as leaders, or they're going to try to put themselves in a light that makes it look like the decision is over. Now, most people don't understand the legal system. They don't understand strategies, like business strategies. These are very high level types of strategies. And what people don't know is that most of the media is owned and controlled by the same people that were trying to have us hear us to say that our voice matters and that we still have rights as Americans and we want to exercise those rights. So this is why we have a big challenge, but a challenge like this is also a great opportunity. It's an opportunity for us to still stay in position. They want us to be discouraged. They want us to think that we are unaware of the truth that exists. And they want us to feel as if we are disabled. And we don't feel that way at all. This is an excellent opportunity for all of us to keep on praying and stay in position, okay? Keep on praying and staying in position. This, again, as I mentioned, is my opinion. It is a political strategy to influence people to believe that the decision is final, and it's not final. It's not final. Again, pay attention to the words like projected, president-elect. Nothing is legal yet. Nothing is certified. We are still in a legal battle to prove and to ensure that the Americans that have voted ethically, have voted correctly, and there has not been anything that was done in any fashion that would be considered illegal. And we are going to prove and show, because there's so many witnesses that have moved forward. So it's not over. It's not over. So stay focused. The other thing I want to share with you guys is that, remember, this is a great thought process. This is for anything that we go through in life. As people who believe in God and have faith, we have to remember that the enemy is always going to try to make it look like it's something else. He's going to make us believe. The enemy, and if you're not a Christian, I'm not calling anybody enemies in case, I'm simply saying that we're dealing with spiritual warfare here. So the enemy is always going to try to position itself to make us believe that there's no hope. It's over. Oh, you're over. What's the comment that you might hear? Something like, "Are you can't accept a loss?" This is not about not accepting a loss. This is about exercising our rights as Americans to protect and to preserve and know that our vote matters and that we have a system that we can believe in. We have a system that we know is not going to interfere with our rights as we the people. That's what this is about. And so we're going to stay in position. We're going to back up our president, and we're going to make sure that they know that we know it's not over yet. So stay in position. Now, going back to our faith, again, this is like anything else that we go through in life. If when we are dealing with obstacles, challenges, diseases, whatever it might be that looks like it's over, it is not over until God says it's over. We need to stay in that position of faith. We need to stay in that position of confidence to know that God will exercise the best and protect all of us during this time. So that's what we need to stay in position. Okay? This is a great test of our faith. This is a great test of our confidence in God. And we just need to stay in position and then let God take over. But what we need to do, this is the most important thing that we need to do, is we need to pray like warriors, because prayer is the greatest weapon, because we're dealing with what's called spiritual warfare. Now, if you're someone new and you don't understand the scripture or anything like that, I encourage you to join me at Pain to Promise. I talk about things in a very easy way for you to understand. But for those of you that do understand me, this is called spiritual warfare. And that means that we have to pray and pray and pray and decree and declare and speak life into the situation so that the evidence and the information comes out to preserve and protect the integrity of our system. Okay, so that's my message to you. Stay encouraged. The other thing that I want to say that will make sense, that I hope will make sense to all of you, if you've ever dealt with a court battle at all, whether it's a divorce or a child custody matter, I'm sure you've seen how the other side, or things that happen where the attorneys or the other side tries to take a position to falsely claim certain things ahead of time. They'll start telling people things, and you know inside your heart, like, well, that's not exactly what happened, right? So you're going to stay in position. You're not going to be afraid. You don't care what the media says. You don't care about all that. We're going to stay in position. Now, the only thing I will say that I think is very, very important is I feel it is very irresponsible for our media to have already said this, and for anyone to come out and say that they've been chosen as president. And the reason why I feel that so strongly is people that are not aware of how the system works, people that are not aware of the more in-depth areas of the law and how the presidency works, they're going to falsely believe it's done and over. So if this things change and we go into this legal battle, right? If things change and everything then is affirmed based on what the evidence is, and then President Trump remains President Trump, can you imagine what's going to do to our country? They just put a false belief into the entire country for people to believe that it's done and over. So if President Trump does take that position and he is declared president of the United States, where there's going to be a lot of education that has to take place. So remember, our goal is to stay calm, to teach and to educate so that we stay united. This is no longer about just the presidency. This is about making sure that our rights as Americans are preserved, protected, and that we know that when we go to the voting booth, that when we put that vote in, there's no manipulation of the system, that it is the voice of we the people. That is the goal. That is the number one thing that we need to focus on to protect the integrity of our system. So keep on praying, keep on believing, because it's not over. In fact, remember, God uses all things for good. So stay in position and keep on praying.